Good evening and welcome to Hungary Report, Starting with Public Media and One's Foreign Language News Hour. I'm Csenga Gabriela Ibolya with today's news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Let's begin. If there's cooperation between East and West, then Central Europe can feel itself secure. This is what the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Péter Szijjártó, said to journalists at a security conference held by Slovakia's Tróba Lake. The minister reminded everyone that when a conflict has previously ignited between East and West, it was always Central Europe who was the loser. He added that when it comes to international politics, it should be about partnerships instead of lecturing each other.
Politics should be based on mutual respect at last, and one should believe about any country, any nation, that nobody can tell better what a given nation needs and what's good for a certain country other than the country itself. Therefore, one has to respect the other's decision regarding domestic policy, and the policy of intervention and telling off must be ended.
The relationship between Hungary and Romania should be defined by mutual respect, said Péter Szijjártó after having discussions with his Romanian counterpart. The issue of the military cemetery in Uzvölgy was also raised. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade asked for the situation of Hungarian war graves to be examined by a body of experts in July. In addition, the two foreign ministers also had talks on the new Romanian administrative law. In connection to this, Péter Szijjártó asked that the Romanian government ensures free use of language for Transylvanian Hungarians. The relations between Hungary and the United States has never been this good. This is what the American ambassador to Hungary said to M1 News before a reception marking the American Day of Independence. According to him, previous administrations only criticized Hungary, but this is over now. At the ceremony, Prime Minister Viktor Orbán said, "The reason why the relations between the two nations is so strong at the moment is because we believe in the same values."
The U.S. Embassy's reception that marked the Day of Independence began with the presentation of the historic flags of the United States and Hungary at the Budapest Congress Center. Viktor Orbán also gave a speech at the ceremony. The Prime Minister said relations are currently really good between the two countries since we are committed to the same values.
You Americans consider America first, for a good reason. And for the same good reason, we consider Hungary first. And we mutually respect each other's patriotic position. Both of us believe that guaranteeing the security of our citizens is a must. It is an obligation of the state. And we both act accordingly.
In an interview with M1 News, the U.S. ambassador to Hungary also highlighted how the relations between the two nations has improved. As he said, although Hungary was criticized by the previous administration, this has changed.
I'm really very happy and I'm very proud of what's taken place in this past year, because the atmosphere of the previous administration was one where they didn't really pay attention to Hungary. They only criticized what was happening in the country. And we felt that if we got along with people that are our friends, our allies, members of NATO, that we could accomplish a lot together. And I'm very, very happy to say that we have accomplished a lot.
Since the inauguration of President Trump, bilateral relations between Budapest and Washington have strengthened. The Hungarian Prime Minister's visit to the White House was also an example of this. After meeting with US President, Viktor Orbán said the meeting was characterized by an excellent atmosphere and mutual respect. He also stressed they strengthened ties in many significant areas.
Uruguayan youngsters with Hungarian ancestry can spend 10 days here in Hungary and settlements across the border. Many of them have grand or great-grandparents who migrated to the South American country. The current group is assisted by a Uruguayan Hungarian who visited Hungary for the first time in a similar program a few years ago and ended up staying here.
Back in Uruguay, they practiced their routine throughoutly. Then the Hungarian young adults soon danced in front of the parliament. Folk dancing is really important to them, since it's the only thing that ties them to Hungarian culture in their everyday lives. For many among the 22 arriving to Hungary, it's their first time visiting. They came to get to know their past, travel around Hungary, see Hungarian minority-inhabited regions outside the country's borders. I think it's a beautiful city and I'm very happy to be here in Hungary now, one of them said. The group has been preparing for the cultural heritage field trip for months. The diaspora program was launched 3 years ago. The Rákóczi Association organizes activities for 1,000 young adults between the ages of 10 and 29 each year, helping them protect the Hungarian identity and acquainting them with their culture. The leader of the group is a Hungarian born in Uruguay who's been living in Hungary for 5 years. She knows the young adults well. For them and for myself, there is a pride in being Hungarian. It's a feeling you can't describe. Everyone knows where their ancestors come from. Coming to Hungary is like a trip home. You can't describe what it's like being a Hungarian, the program coordinator said. The National Policy Secretariat of the Prime Minister's office is funding the field trip. One of their most important stops was the Parliament. Hungary and even I myself am very grateful to your practice your ancestors' tradition and language as much as you can. We know that dancing, folk music and scouting are huge forces that keep people together in South America, the ministerial commissioner said. After visiting museums and historic sites in the capital, the young adults will spend their evenings in traditional Hungarian folk dancing houses. The group from Uruguay will also be visiting cultural and traditional folk dancing festivals until next Friday.
After the immensely popular Night of Museums and Night of Sciences, this year for the first time the Night of Pipe Organs will be held. Any city can join the program till this Friday. What is certain is that Szeged, Pécs and Szombathely will be part of the program. A special song was even composed for next Saturday's event.
Organ music and mood lighting will be the two main components of the experience that organizers of the first ever Night of Organs want to share with the audiences around the country on Saturday. The Queen of Instruments will be heard in Pécs, Szeged and Szombathely, among several other cities. This is the song they'll play at each venue. The organ player, Szilárd Kovács, composed the piece for the occasion. The objective is to break a record. On this day, we'd like as many people as possible to play this piece, he said. According to the organizer, it's important that the audience be able to feel the uniquely strong culture-forming power of the musical experiences involving the instrument have. Visitors will also be able to see how an organ works up close. For many years, maybe even a decade, I've been working to promote classical music and especially organ music, the head organizer said. Any town or city interested in participating in the Night of Organs festivities has until Friday to contact the organizers.
The Little Penguin Group's plan was successful. They managed to swim across Lake Balaton. The relay swim team, consisting of 18 children and 3 adults, leaving from Keszthely Monday morning, managed to swim across at a much faster pace to Balatonakaratja than they planned. The swim was part of a charity drive for a foundation which supports children with missing limbs. This year, more than 200 performers await the audience on the shores of Lake Velence. Airport promises visitors the most upbeat week of the past years at the 13 venues of the festival. Rita Ora, the Italian Gianluca Vacci, and the German Brooklyn Bounce will all be performing. The participants of the Iron Age camp in Somogyfajsz were able to get acquainted with the tricks of iron making from the time of the conquest. Attendees can even get their raw materials from the streams, forests of the areas nearby, as well as using technologies that are thousands of years old. This year, more than 30 people came from all over the country and even from abroad to have this special experience. And that's all for now, but don't forget you can catch Hungary Reports every night after 11 p.m. news and online as always. Do stick around and watch our German, Russian and Chinese language news. Thank you for watching and have a lovely evening.